Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Indira Novelia Nurinayah. In this video, I will dub a motivational speech video. The title is Math is Not Hard is a Language by Mr. Randy Palisak. Let's go! "26% on the nation report cards, that's a percentage of US 12 graders who are proficient in math. In America, we're proud of ourselves as being an exceptional country, but does 26% sound exceptional to you? Raise your hand if you think as a country we need to do way better than this. I'm with you. We all need math, but why so many kids confused by it? It is because only 26% of people are hardcore for math, while 74% are not. After working with thousands of kids, I can tell you, this is not the case at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it as the humanized subject. But if we make a math human again, it will start to make sense again. You're probably wondering, how was math ever human in the first place? So think about it. Math is a human language, just like English, Spanish, or Chinese, because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient time, people need the language of math to conduct trade, to build monuments, and to measure the land for farming. This idea of math as a language is not exactly new. A great philosopher once said, "The laws of nature are written in the language of mathematics." So you see, even Galileo agrees with me. But somewhere along the line, we've taken this language of math, which is about the real world around us, and we've abstracted it beyond recognition, and that's why kids are confused. Let me show you what I mean. Read this third grade California math standard and see if it will make sense to an 8 years old. Understand the fraction 1a/b as a quantity formed by one part when a whole is partitioned into b equal parts. Understand the fraction a/b as a quantity formed by a part of size 1a/b. And if you give this description to an 8 years old, you probably get a reaction like this. To math experts, this standard makes sense. But to a kid, it's absolute torture. I choose this example specifically because fraction is foundational to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So if kids don't understand fraction in elementary and middle school, they have to tough road ahead of the high school. But is there a way to make fraction simple and easy for kids to understand? Yes. Just remember that math is a language and use at your advantage. For example, when I teach 5th graders how to add and fraction, I start with apples plus apples. Listen. First I ask, what's 1 apple plus 1 apple? And kids will often say 2, which is partially correct. Have them include the words as well since math is language. So it's not just 2, it's 2 apples. Next is 3 pencils plus 2 pencils. You all know that pencil plus pencil give you pencils. So everyone, how many pencils? 5 pencils is right, and the key is you include the words. I tried this lesson with my 5 years old niece once. After she had pencil and pencils, I asked her, what's 4 billion plus 1 billion? And my aunt overheard this and she scolded me and said, are you crazy? She's in the garden. How's she supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion? And down that. My niece finished counting, looks up and say, 5 billions? And I say, that's right, it is 5 billions. My aunt just shook her head and laughed because she didn't expect that from a 5 years old. But all you have to do is take a language approach and math become intuitive and easy to understand. Then I asked her a question that kindergartners are definitely not supposed to know. What's 1/3 plus 1/3? And immediately she answered 2/3. So if you're wondering how could she possibly know that when she doesn't know about numerators and denominators yet? You see, she was not thinking about numerators and denominators. She thought of the problem this way, and she used 1 apple plus 1 apple as her analogy to understand 1/3 plus 1/3. So if even a kindergartner can add fraction, you better believe that every 5th grader can do it as well. Just for fun, I asked her high school algebra question. What's 7x squared plus 2x squared? And this little 5-year-old girl correctly answered 9x squared. And she didn't need any exponent rules to figure that out. So when people say that we are either hardware for math or not, it's not true. Math is human language, so we all have the ability to understand it. We need to take language approach to math urgently because so many kids are lost and are anxious about math, and it doesn't have to be that way. I worked with an angry, frustrated high school student once who couldn't pass algebra because she only knew 44% of her multiplication fact. I told her, that's like trying to read and only knowing 44% of the alphabet is holding you back. She couldn't factor or solve equation and she had no confidence in math. As a result, this teenager had no confidence in herself. I told her, we have to start with multiplication because once you know all your facts by heart, everything gets easier and will be like having a fast pass to every ride of Disneyland. What do you think? And she said, okay. So she systematically learned her timetable in 4 weeks, and yes, even multiplication has language embedded in it. You'll be surprised how many kids don't realize 7 times 3 can be spelled out as 7 times 3, which just means 3 7 times, just like this. So when kids see this way, they quickly realize their repetition is slow and inconsistent, so they gladly memorize that 3 7 times always give you 21. So for this teenager who was at risk of dropping out, becoming fluent and confident in multiplication was a game changer, because for the first time she could focus on problem solving instead of counting on her fingers. I knew she had turned off the corner when she figured out that a 2-year-old lives at $445 a month will cost you $10,680, and she looked at me disapprovingly and said, Mr. Foley, that's expensive. At that moment, math was no longer causing problem for her, but she was using math to solving problem as a responsible adult would. As an educator, it's my duty to challenge kids to reach higher, so I leave you with this challenge. Our country is stuck at 26% proficiency, and I challenge you to push that number higher. This is important because Matematika thinking not only built new, but our kids needed to imagine and build a future that doesn't yet exist. Meeting this challenge can be as simple as apples plus apples. Insist that we teach math as a human language, and we will get there sooner rather than later. Thank you for watching this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.